Hello and welcome to this week's video. Today, just like in the previous video, I want to use a figure from Indian mythology that has deeply fascinated me as the subject of a wax model for a potential pendant, Shiva the Destroyer. But before we get started, I want to thank you and remind you that if you'd like to learn more about wax modeling for jewelry, or if you enjoy my videos, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. This way you won't miss any upcoming video and you also be giving me tremendous support. Now let's not waste any time and dive right into the video. I chose to create a model of the god Shiva, partly to maintain continuity with the previous video, where I modeled Kali, his consort. In fact, the base shape in this project is again the ogive. But I also wanted to continue the theme of these two videos, which is ancient Indian mythology, still vibrant and rich today. As in the previous model, I start with a piece of wax, from which I'll cut out the ogive base shape. From there, I'll prepare the piece, the background, and the piece to sculpt Shiva's face. Shiva has been the most fascinating figure for me among the countless Indian deities. Shiva is part of the Trinity or Trimurti, which consists of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu the preserver and Shiva the destroyer. Although Shiva has many forms, some of them fearsome and worshipped in tantric rituals in cremation grounds, he is not a negative figure, as some in the West might assume. Shiva destroys the universe through the Tandav dance, in his form as Shiv Nataraj, the dancing god, to pave the way for a new universe, repeating this cycle for eternity. After dividing the workspace, I began working on the god's face. First, I attach my drawing, which I'll use as a guide to the ogive where I'll sculpt the figure. Then I trace the design onto the wax using a metal stylus. Once the drawing is transferred, I refine it with a graver to make it more clearer and prepare for the actual sculpting. Ever since I was a child, I've been captivated by the figure of Shiva. He is such a unique and peculiar representation of divinity, covered in cremation ash, wearing only a tiger skin around his waist, with tangled, unkempt hair tied on his head, adorned with Rudraksha beads necklace, and a live cobra around his neck. Shiva meditates motionlessly in the perpetual glacier of Mount Kailash, surrounded by his ganas, ghosts and beings that most people fear. Shiva represents the perfect yogi, always in balance, detached from everything, yet acting because it is his duty, never born and never dies. Armed with a trident, Shiva embodies a timeless force. This figure deeply struck me as a child. Perhaps my love for the mountains, solitude, or something else has always made me feel a connection with this extraordinary being. If you are still watching this video, thank you so much. If you are enjoying it, please give it a like. And if you have questions or anything else to share, feel free to leave a comment below. Now, back to the video. As I continue sculpting, I use various tools to bring the figure to life, such as gravers, spatulas, a marble chisels, and even some tips I made myself using steel wire. Step by step, these tools help me shape the god's face, gradually extracting it from the wax, carving it bit by bit. Sometimes, during these days, when the work is halfway between raw wax and finished model, it's easy to feel disheartened. The shape is still unrefined, awkward and unsightly, a normal part of any creative process, but it can be discouraging. In the past, this stage would often stop me, leading me to abandon many projects that could have become truly interesting once completed. Over time, I learned to push through, and gradually the model would start looking more beautiful and defined. Another key step in this project is adding wax with a head tool to create certain details, such as the nose or Shiva's Rudraksha necklace that secures his hair on his head. This is one of the greatest advantages of working with wax. Not only is it more economical than working directly with gold or silver, but it also allows you to easily add or remove material in different ways. Wax modeling make it possible to create designs that would be extremely difficult or even impossible to achieve directly in metal. For the background, I decided to create a rough decoration, inspired by lotus petals, often seen in Indian designs. From the ogive base, I've carved out the lotus petals, first sketching them with a metal tip, then refining them with a graver, and finally sculpting them with my trusty marble chisel. I intentionally kept the decoration a bit rough, not only because it won't be very visible, as it serves as the background and base shape, but also to evoke the ancient powerful force of Shiva. Like every multi-piece model, to complete this one, I need to join the background and the face together. To do this, I used my wax heating tool in several spots to fuse the two parts together. And with that, the model for this video is complete. What do you think? Are you satisfied, or would you have done something differently? Let me know in the comments. Don't miss this recommended video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week with the next video.